Alrighty, we are live on both the YouTubes and the Twitches. I'll go ahead and put my links into the chat here and then we'll get going. Hope everybody is doing wonderfully today. 71 degrees and sunny here in the OH. Alrighty, I am Coach Steve Money, and if you've got money problems or just want to make sure you're on the right track, you are in luck because I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial assessment / consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. The link is at the top of the chat and in the video description below. You could email me about anything, anything, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. And donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. All right, let's get going here. Tech support, maybe occasionally a witty retort. Tech support, we're now putting covers on our TPS reports. Oh no, I'll send you that email again. This is the tech support. Alright, that's all I got so far. That's cool. Alright. Let's get rid of the tech support banner here. And we go to tech support. We go to reddit.com/r/tech support and we sort by new. And then we get nerdy with it. After getting a little bit of water, a little bit of agua. Oh, before I forget, let's bring up the chat again. There we go. Alrighty. This from Glaive Editor. Just now it says, 1 minute ago now. Should I replace my power supply unit? Monitor randomly turns off for 5 seconds. Then it will turn on after that. It will either turn on again, but the display is shifted to the right, or it will restart the windows or a blue screen of death. My keyboard also double types frequently and is plain annoying. I can't also spam / hold a key smoothly. It just stops, then it will double type. I also hear static on my headphones. Now my tech set is caused by a bad PSU, power supply unit. Should I replace my PSU? I don't think that's the problem. If it would be just a monitor thing, I would think it would be the wrong. If it turns off, I mean, that could be it. It could be the motherboard. It could be Windows problem. You could have something on there that's taking a lot of resources, etc., etc. But as far as knowing if you can replace it, that's a good place to start a lot of times. And that generally you can get a decent power supply for 30 to 40 bucks. And so most other things are going to cost more than that. So that's a good thing to try first, but I don't think that would be the problem. As always, the most frequent problem, the most likely thing to be a problem is going to be a hard disk drive. The old drives that spin and have the arm reading over the disk. And get rid of those. Get a solid state drive. I recommend, let's see, from Sacred Quokka 222. I don't use iCloud storage, so I don't know. Let's see. What's the point of paying for extra iCloud storage if it takes up space on my phone? Does anyone have experience using Easy Store hard drive for Mac? Well, the idea generally is that you have important data somewhere, like with you on your phone or on your computer, and then you also have iCloud storage for a backup. That's not the same thing. It's in two different places. Granted, you're looking at it from your phone or from the computer. You know, it's on the iCloud server, but yeah. Pay for 2 terabyte and constantly running out of storage on my phone. Photos only using 10 gigabytes. That's a lot of photos, dog. But let's see, bought an Easy Store hard drive that says it's compatible with a Mac and attempt to get all the photos out of the cloud and stop paying for additional storage, but that's also not letting me drag and drop photos into it. Frustrated, don't know what to do because I have 38,000 photos and videos. That's a lot, dog, that are in the cloud that I just want to store somewhere else. You should be able to download those. You might have to, like, you can't do it on a phone probably, but you can, if you connect that hard drive to your Mac and then go to the iCloud, you should be able to download anything from the iCloud. So I don't know what the dealio is with that. Why is my laptop keyboard writing numbers when I type letters? The letter L writes 3. That's weird. That's not the right. No, is it? There are numbers, like if you don't have a number pad. Oh, it is laptop, so probably no, you don't have a number pad on there. It does use the keyboard as, let's say, L is 3, O is 6, the U is 4, 5, 6. Yeah, see, the U, it's UIO, so it's 4, 5, and 6 right there. So that's basically like the number pad on there. I would think in the number, so the number lock key on your laptop is probably pressed. Look, numlock key. Somebody already beat me to it. Beat me to it. Okay. That's from Rock Band Dude. Corrupted recycle bin on drive D and the usual command prompt fix isn't working. Any ideas? So what did I just say? I said the most likely problem on any computer is a hard disk drive, the old spinning type of drive. And so I would think that just the drive D is bad, and hopefully that is a drive by itself and not a partition of the boot drive. Corrupted recycle bin on drive D for a while and just realized it was a major issue. Been deleting stuff and hasn't been giving me back hard drive space, even though the corrupted recycle bin says there's nothing in it. Deleted games, over 300 gigs of games, and not gotten a single gig back. Anyways, the fix, every site in YouTube video I found says use command prompt as admin and use this command. Okay. Let's remove directory / something / Q. I don't know what that is. But then D, then recycle bin, try to 5 times now. And so software fixes are not going to work usually on a bad hard drive. So yeah. Bad hard drive. Probably. Test it with ctools die for Windows or Western Digital Diagnostics. Beep beep. beep, 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 beep. Okay. It's fun. Alrighty. Saw Doctor Strange over the weekend and the Multiverse of Madness. Good movie. Audio not playing through monitor from console using HDMI. Well, it certainly should be able to do that. I have a monitor with built-in speakers, but it cannot seem to play audio when I connect it to a console using HDMI cable. In the past, I've used my PS3 for my monitor, and the audio has worked perfectly. Same with my other consoles. When I recently tried plugging in the PlayStation into my monitor, everything seemed to work except the audio. Thought it might have been a console issue, so I didn't worry much about it. Just earlier today, I plugged in my Wii into my monitor, and the same thing occurred. No audio display worked fine. It's bad audio port or bad cable. Now the odd thing is the audio works fine when it's connected to my laptop, so I have no idea what the issue is. That's weird. I have no idea it's something to do with my laptop audio settings, or if there's something that I've changed on my monitor settings. Either way, I just want my audio to work properly again. No, that should work. Check console audio settings. And this is, that's something you would think would happen. That's from Unfair Animator 617. That's a fun name. But that's something you should be able to figure out by yourself. Generally, is something that's what you would check, and if you checked it, then you should put it in your description. But some people get upset and can't think straight when they have computer problems or technical problems. Mariachi Archery had a drive failure and can't figure out how to restore from my backup. Windows 10. Feeling kind of stupid not being able to figure it out. Hoping to find help here. Did you Google it? Google it. My power supply unit failed recently. My computer was shutting off randomly, and then power cycling was able to cold start it, but eventually it would just shut off and start power cycling again. At certain points during this power cycle, the computer would go to the BIOS screen and my boot drive would be missing. After letting the computer rest for a bit, I could boot up fine into my normal drive. That could be the power supply. Is that after you replace the power supply? Oh, replace the power supply, and when I powered, my PC on the boot drive was gone again and not recognizing the BIOS at all. I was able to boot up Windows once or twice from the drive, but it was almost immediately crashed as an M2 NVMe drive. If it helps, that means it's a solid state drive, and that's better than a hard disk drive, but they do still fail. That could still be the problem. If you're certain the PSU was bad, power supply unit was bad, it could have screwed up your motherboard. Just installed a new M.2 drive, which doesn't fix it if it's a motherboard problem. Install Windows on it, and I'm trying to restore Windows from the backup of the old drive I had made. It was just simple backup using Windows backup tool. The backup drive seems to be functioning perfectly. How do I restore my old system using this backup? Well, we go restore old backup made with Windows backup tool. Yeah, it's not the whole drive. Boom, 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 boom. I believe this is what he is looking for. I believe this is just your data and not the Windows operating system. That's what I think. I don't think it has the thing on there. Let's see. Let's try it. Back up. I have instead of just the window capture today, I have the display capture, so you can see all the stuff that I'm putting on there. Drag it back up files of OneDrive, back up and restore from Windows 7. Is it still in there? Backup or restore your files. Windows backup has not been set up, so let's see, set up backup. Okay, backup destination, could not find any drives to save. Okay, so that way you'd have an external drive attached, and then you would pick, probably you would hit next after you pick the drive to back it up on, next, and then you would say the files you want to save up. It doesn't save your operating system, doesn't back that up. To do that, you would have to do a clone to a different drive and clone the entire drive. Okay, blue screen of even more death. Ocular arc. So I cloned, this is what I was just talking about, cloned my hard disk drive to my solid state drive. Excellent. After I turned it off, my computer was stuck at a blue screen telling me it couldn't access my solid state drive. When I tried choosing F8 for boot settings, nothing happened. Computer eventually turned itself off. I tried getting a new Windows boot drive, but I couldn't change the boot settings. Tried on another keyboard, but that also didn't work. Also tried spamming delete on my keyboard upon the computer turning on to open the BIOS, but that didn't work either. I also did check my connections, all solid. My HDD is also wiped right now. Why'd you wipe that? Why'd you wipe that? So when you do a clone, okay, what you do is you clone, in this case, the hard disk drive to the solid state drive, and then you shut the computer down, and then you disconnect the hard disk drive so that it can't even accidentally boot to that anymore, and then you make sure the solid state drive is booting. But couldn't change the boot settings. I mean, you should be able to change the boot settings. You should be able to go into the BIOS unless it is set to do fast boot, secure boot. You would have to when you shut down Windows, you would have to restart and say that that's what you want to do to go into the BIOS in a newer computer. Right, mic in and line in, outputting audio as one device. Not sure if this corruptor bot. Not sure if it's a hardware or software related. Me either. Let's see. Have a really janky setup to play some of my consoles in here, Discord, at the same time. As far as audio goes, I have an auxiliary cable running from the headphone jack on my monitor. What? To the line in on my computer. For some reason, depending on the last device, mic or line that was plugged into, by audio channel, both audio channels will be output as a single device. Line in or mic in online. Why do you need to export the audio from the monitor? I don't understand why you would do that and why it wouldn't. That just might be settings, though, as far as sound settings. You got your output device. You got the microphone right there. As you can see, it works. Advanced sound options, what output, input. So it could be this stuff here. Could be on this stuff here. That's all I can think of at the moment. Let's see, black screen. This is from Jan Volt. Black screen hanging on Windows 10. Currently, my computer has been suffering from hanging to a black screen with inconsistent causes. Sometimes it will happen upon opening more than one maximized window and only maximize ones. Minimize and windowed programs had no issues. While other times it seems to be on a timer after certain programs start up. Well, when the screen goes black, computer doesn't accept any inputs. Obviously, since I can't see, this is difficult to test, but I've had audio playing when this happened and mashing Alt F4 enough to close what should have been all open windows, left the audio playing. Oh, I see. If you do Alt F4, Alt F4, Alt F4, that's going to change whatever. So I see what he's saying. It'll close them out one after one, so one after another. This also means that when Control plus Shift plus B to restart the graphics driver doesn't do anything. Although the computer does beep, that plus the drive access light continues to blink while the screen is black. Seems important, but I don't know what it tells us exactly besides the computer is working. I would try a different monitor and try your video card in a different computer. Second time, computer temperatures only measured about blah, 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 to maximize windows. Someone suggests turning off hardware acceleration in Discord. You could turn off hardware acceleration in the browser as well. Black screen with cursor while after Steam open on startup as if on a timer, naturally disabling Steam at startup. Again, fix the issue. Since you're having multiple issues there, I would think that perhaps the problem is again the drive. Let's see, restarting graphics driver. Cannot upload this driver. I'm on the latest for my chipset and there hasn't been any new ones in years. For the graphics driver, what card do you have? I cannot upgrade components. This is a laptop and not one of those cool ones that actually let you swap things out. I don't even know about a laptop that will let you swap things out. Yeah, so you're left with reinstalling Windows, and then if the fresh install of Windows doesn't work, then I'd say it's bad hardware, or most likely, again, the hard drive, aging hard drive. Yep. So, and if you've literally been literally forced to reset Windows and then reinstall programs you had before, again, for how many times? So, yeah, it's probably a bad drive. Yep. Yeah. Probably bad drive if you've had to do a fresh install multiple times. Most likely the drive, and because I'm going to change bad hardware. No. Okay. Go. This is from Infamous with the PH. Cool. Asus black screen problem. Another laptop. Hopefully someone here can help my problem. Now we're helping you solve your problem. We're not helping your problem. Because helping your problem would make it get worse, wouldn't it? Have an Asus ROG model or ROG model of that model number. I'm having an issue where I will be in the middle of a game or general use of a computer and it will essentially shut itself down and immediately reboot with a black screen. Okay, and same as the other one, somewhat. shutting itself down without rebooting is generally a heat issue. The only solution I have been able to do to get it to work is holding the power button until it turns off, releasing it immediately, or waiting 20, 30, 45 seconds, or even minutes, and hoping it turns back on. This can sometimes go on for 20, 30 minutes with no results, but a reboot to a black screen. Laptop is old and has been through many things over the years. Main issue being a drink spilled on the keyboard caused none of the keys to work, and also could have hit your motherboard as well. And especially if it had sugar in it, that is the worst. That's worse than water being on it. Even if it's cleaned up, if a microscopic amount of sugar or water is on the board, it can eventually cause problems. So, yeah. Okay, with the keyboard being broken means I do not have the original power button to use. The original keyboard, the power button was on the original keyboard. Instead, I have the laptop keyboard disconnected from the inside of the laptop, and a simple push button switch with the wire ran to the 5th pin from the left inside of the computer to turn it off and on. This guy is MacGyver. He MacGyvered his laptop. It functions fine. Okay, the power button may do that you have it going in there, but a little rinky-dink, I know, but it works. Yeah, that's fine. When the black screen occurs, I have no power running to the external keyboard, and I'm unable to use it. Huh? Since this is a laptop, okay, could be the power adapter too. Since laptop, not much storage space on the drive, so 8 terabyte Seagate external USB hard drive to store games on. I suspect this is the culprit responsible for the crashes, maybe. Unsure how to remedy the situation, you unplug it and use your computer without that connected. And then, yeah. The Seagate drive always come back with the computer, even though other USB ports are not pushing power to my keyboard or mouse. This laptop is not anything suspicious. Not been used browsing, not safe for work sites. Been used strictly for entertainment. Purchased in 2016. That is old, dog. Taking the bottom cover off, resoldering the wire for my power button. Ensure all drivers, full system restore. Remove, down. You said that's a Seagate. Boom, boom, boom. Test. Do the long test from Tools for Windows on that, on both drives. Most likely bad component in a computer. Well, let's see. Was I thinking there was something else for him? No. I think it's the drive. One of his drives. And they're probably both spinning drives. Since it's from 6 years ago. Let's see. Single beep from PC speakers. Seemingly random, my PC beeps once through my speakers. Any suggestion on what? Beeps once to do what? It beeps once instead of loading Windows, or what? Too vague. Like Pizza Princess, being a little vague there. Okay, this is from nice username, using a solid state drive to counteract a memory leak on a game. You're not gonna use a solid state drive to counteract a memory leak on a game. If there's a memory leak on a game, it's the game's problem, not yours. I currently have Grand Theft Auto. Couldn't remember what that was for a second. Grand Theft Auto on my hard disk drive, but the game eats so much RAM after a minute, and as a result, the game stutters laying out. But thinking is using the page file of the HDD to keep going. What if I move GTAV into an SSD? Will that solve performance issue, or is it a bandage fix? Oh, it won't fix anything as SSD transfer is still orders of magnitude slower than RAM, especially with SATA. What if the SSD? No. No. What else do I want to tell them? Also, unless you created a page file on that drive, it doesn't have one. By default, the page file is on the boot drive. Alrighty, help buying a domain. Roger Bikes win. Oh no, Roger Bike Swim. Okay. Student that recently finished my first semester of computer science. I got an idea to purchase a website to host my projects and maybe use as a digital resume. I found a website name that I like, but I don't know much about purchasing a website. Check the price of the website on several domain registers. Price of domain starts at $72 a year at Google. Try GoDaddy. Others list $85 a year, $95 a year. It's probably going to be less. Once I buy the domain, isn't it mine? You have to pay for it every year. Yeah. But yes. I get having to pay for web hosting, right? But shouldn't the price for a good website name be paid once? Don't try to say, oh, I'm going to have a website and then, oh, but I also would like it to be paid once. It doesn't work like that. You have to renew it every year. That's how they get you. And then some nominal amount annual. No, it's going to be $75 for $100 per year. That's a business expense. No, you're not being scammed. Let's see. You don't buy it. You own control of it. The year's rental cost. That's right. The internet's own it. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, internet not working after GPU install, graphics processing unit, video card install. I recently bought a new graphics processing unit for my PC. It was a 3080, a big upgrade from my 1070. I'll take that 1070. I have a 1050 Ti, which actually 1050 Ti might be a little bit better than the 1070. Everything was working. Of course it was, because then you would have posted earlier. Everything is fine until it breaks, right? People always say that when describing the problem. When I had my 1070 in, but when I installed my 3080, my Ethernet wasn't working. And when I went to check for any known networks, they were all gone. Like it wiped all my networks. I tried resetting my network. That didn't help. My 3080 was on. And my PC was reading the card right on the task manager. My GPU was also burning hot. When sitting in idle, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I gave up and switched back to my 1070. See if it was the GPU that caused the problem. And I still have no network, even with my 1070. Please. Let's see. Oh, nobody did anything yet. You possibly broke the Nope, not Ethernet. Did he say Ethernet up there? Yeah, that's not. It's not Ethernet. Ethernet is Ethernet cable is cable there. What you're talking about is Wi-Fi. I think you possibly broke the network adapter cabled or Wi-Fi receiver wireless when you installed the video card. If you are not ground static, electricity can break a motherboard. Check device manager to make sure the component you are complaining about is there. Also check for that as well in the BIOS. BIOS is the software that runs the motherboard, and you get to that before Windows boots up. So there you go. And you can, I'll tell him if he writes back. You can also buy you can replace the Wi-Fi receiver in there. You can replace the, if it's a network jack that a cable goes into, you can replace that either with a USB Ethernet adapter, or you can put a PCIe card. If you have a additional PCIe space, you can put a network card in the computer to replace that, or you can put a Wi-Fi receiver, either replace it inside the computer, or you can just buy again a USB Wi-Fi receiver. And so I'll tell them that, and that's what you can do if your one that's part of the motherboard is broken. It's from Zolo89. How to make sure I permanently deleted a virus on Windows 10. Hi, I downloaded a program last night, and once it was on my down folder, my PC was freezing, and Microsoft Defender was saying my PC had a virus. I was able to delete the file. Today I noticed that my PC was going a little quite a bit slow. Is there any way I can make sure I permanently deleted the virus? Also, the file was on a pirate app, because the majority of apps I use are either open source or freeware, and I never pirate apps. Free stuff can have bad stuff on them. Alrighty, let's see. Reinstall Windows. And since can't reactivate it, why can't you reactivate it? If it's a pre-built computer, meaning like a Dell or an Acer or any brand name computer, the activation code is built into the motherboard. So, but what he can do is also do another Microsoft Defender scan. He can also scan with Malwarebytes as well. So, and it's possible that put other things on the computer that aren't really viruses. That's just slowing it down. You can check the startup. To make sure that it's not going. I should have this before. I've done this before, and I have linked people to this video. Let's see. There we go. Task Manager right there. If you haven't opened it before, it will look like that. When you first do, you can either do Task Manager down here, like that. Maybe. Task. Yeah, there we go. And it's right there. Or you can do what I did before, which is hit Control-Alt-Delete and then Task Manager. And then you would hit more details right there, and then you see this is what the things are using. Not bad for a stream. Only using 27% because it's not a game playing. I'm just capturing my display. So that makes it not take as many resources. That also happens when I stream from the PlayStation. Like currently I'm playing Last of Us. And that basically is streaming through my network from my PlayStation to my computer. Then I'm using the computer to stream it. Might play a little Last of Us tonight and maybe finish it. What was I talking about? I got distracted. Oh, the startup tab. You would disable every little bit of this stuff. Cortana, we obviously know what that is. A free YouTube downloader, disabled. Game, GOG Galaxy, I can't remember that. Gamer or something. Gamer, can't remember. Galaxy.com, I think I got that for a free game one time. I don't think I ever played it. So great. I have the Realtek HD Audio Universal, what is that, driver? Universal service, and I don't have any problem with my sound, so you don't need that to run. Skype, don't need that to run. Steam adds itself to start up automatically. I guess they want you to be playing those games. Disable that as well. And the Windows security notification icon, that's just an icon, so I did left that enabled. But you just disable everything in here and reboot, and that's like your computer is brand new again. Maybe not quite that good, but that will help. So that's how you do that. And you do have to, even after you disable them, it doesn't shut them down. You still have to reboot so that they get applied. And so definitely if you see something in here that you don't know what it is, you can Google it. Like I said, also do a Malwarebytes scan. Free / trial version of it. You don't need to buy it. All right, Bluetooth. Bluetooth hardware detected, but Bluetooth doesn't detect any devices. Okay, so here we go. Whether I'm on Linux or Windows, Bluetooth won't detect any devices, even though the operating system shows the Bluetooth receiver is installed. Any help would be appreciated. It's still broken then. It obviously doesn't have anything to do with drivers or the operating system. Let's see if anybody commented now. No. Okay. Broken Bluetooth receiver. Since it does it on both operating systems, it's not a driver or settings issue. USB Bluetooth receivers are very cheap, fortunately. Buy a new one and disable the broken one in device manager or in the BIOS. And again, that's the software that runs the motherboard. And it's probably Bluetooth is probably built into the motherboard. All right. How to take data with you to the grave. Well, I don't know if that's happening. Let's see, 4619. is the user. As of now, I'm archiving my backups with 7-zip plus encryption. AES 256. I don't know what these people have that they think is so vitally important that they need to do encryption on it. I mean, I guess, but that just leads to problems when you try to unencrypt it later. Let's see, it's usually an all-in-one 7-zip file up to 1 terabyte and an MD5 file and given backup hard disk drive. What I say is the most likely problem. We'll see. These I touch maybe once a year to see if the drive is still running. Ideally, in the worst case scenario, if stolen or if I die, I would like these data to be lost forever. Is what I do enough, or should I look into drive encryption? Or didn't he say it's already encrypted? So that should be fine unless you have the unencryption password. You can't, I don't think you can force, I don't think there's any programs that can force that. So I don't know enough. I'm not going to answer. I don't know enough about what he's talking about. I mean, I understand what he wants to happen. He wants nobody to be able to get that encrypted data. And so, yeah, but how that would work is that there would be a password to access that file before that 7-zip file would open. Kernel butt much. All right, PC crashes randomly, reboots to black screen. I've been having pretty regular crashes the past few days where my PC seems to freeze completely before crashing and then restarting to black screen with the fans running loudly. Usually will attempt to reboot and fail repeatedly. Subsequent attempts to restart often won't work at all or will launch to the BIOS and then fail to boot to Windows from the BIOS. Crashes typically happen while gaming, although they've happened even just when running command prompt. I've also got non-paged area, lose streams of data twice. So far from Memtest 86 should be running Memtest 64 now since everybody has 64-bit machines, or should. It found no issues in SFC scan now. That's system file checker scan now. So he's doing the usual things. The system file checker not finding any problems. I was gonna say it might be the hard drive, but let's see. Excuse me, sleepy time. Based on observing MSI Afterburner while gaming. Also tried resetting both the RAM and the GPU during the last series of failed boots. Also noted the VGA light on my motherboard on, so I removed the GPU and used the integrated graphics. Afterwards, the computer booted to a Windows recovery screen, although an attempt to reinstall Windows resulted in another crash. Windows was able to start afterwards, having any crashes in it, but also using the... Okay. If you have trouble... Oh, people got it. Will the reinstall crash or any error message? Can't remember the error message for that crash. Yeah, if you have trouble during a Windows fresh install and assuming there is nothing wrong with your installation source or the files on it, or the files on it, then it is a hardware problem, most likely an HDD, but could be an SSD as well. If you have an HDD connected disconnect it while you continue to troubleshoot. Alrighty. Can I install Linux into my computer, booting it through my smartphone? What? People are crazy with the stuff they want to do. Oh, but I don't have a USB stick at the moment. He needs a flash drive. USB flash drive, and he doesn't have one, and so that's why he wants to use his phone as a that is not viable to boot it up, probably, because you need the operating system to work the USB to be able to see the phone as a drive letter. And not only that, you often need to install extra software in order for the operating system to see it. But yeah, you'll need it. Yeah, so 6 comments, so they probably took care of him. Makuja. 1 long, 2 short beeps on startup. Yeah. Bum 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 ba-dum. So what you do is you go do the Google and you put exactly what he put in there without typing everything. Look at that. 1 short beep usually signifies everything is okay. 1 long beep followed by 2 short beeps is a memory issue. A half a second of Googling. Should I tell them? Oh, trying different RAM slots has no effect even with a RAM stick from my own PC, which I know is good, while the motherboard battery is both in and out. Did you try the stick from your computer in every single slot and with no other RAM installed? 2 seconds of Googling revealed this. I suppose it's possible that it's the page file on the boot drive. That is the problem. So you could Google, how to delete that and recreate it. And also test the drive if you don't know how. Google it. Could also be the RAM slots are bad. Alrighty. Time is it? That's 6 minutes. Okay, so 1 or 2 more. Boom, boom, boom. What happened? Oh, I didn't even read it. Brother's PC got knocked down from the table by a pet. Yep. So, I mean, normally that could be just where the memory was loose, but he did receive it already. So, completely disassemble all the modules and put the minimal setup in again. Yeah. Okay. What? There are no error signals when I install my own CPU from my PC instead of his. But the screen still didn't show anything through motherboard GPI port. I didn't check with GPU. Check with GPU. I'll just leave what I have there. And I will get back into that if he responds. And I will say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read it first. So if there's no error of signals when you saw, but there is an error with his, yeah, it probably is. Oh, I just let me just delete that comment. Delete. Whoops. Yes, it's a bad CPU. The RAM slots could also be bad. Okay, cool. Fixed. This is from Big Me 2. Or Big Me II. Probably Big Me 2. That's that Foo Fighters song. What is it? Talk about Gary. I can't remember how it goes now. Anyway. I can't remember how it goes. PC Wi-Fi disconnects sometimes after being idle. It doesn't like sleep mode, maybe. Sometimes when I leave my computer for a while, whether it's to eat or use the washroom, I'll come back to Wi-Fi being disconnected. My computer doesn't go to sleep either. Okay. Just came back to everything open, but the Wi-Fi disconnected. When I first tried to reconnect, it would say it can't connect to the Wi-Fi, but would connect on the second time trying. Does, yeah. Perhaps not completely compatible with let's not do that. Let's go with make sure in the power settings that the Wi-Fi adapter is on never sleep or whatever. And not affected by any power saving plan. Got time for one more. Data file converted to CSV from Squeakum. We're collecting data, and our software saves the raw file and later converts to a CV text file. That's comma separated values, and that's like for that's a way you can save spreadsheets, because it would go every comma, it would put it into a new cell. So let's say recently the converter stopped working. Are there any tool to help me decode the raw file with a few old samples of both the raw and CV? Data are just arrays of numbers in time. Okay. Give me an example of old raw versus CSV. Contact the converter manufacturer. Alrighty, that is good enough. Let's see, unless this one is just great. Android tablet help, nope. Kernel power, nope. Alright. Okay, so once again, I am Coach Steve Money, and I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. That is Dave Ramsey's company. And if you've got money problems or just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free assessment consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. Links at the top of the chat and in the video description below. You can email me about anything, yes, anything, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. And donations you can send to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. I may be playing some either PC building simulator tonight or maybe trying to finish the Last of Us first game. So we'll see how that goes if either of those happen, because I am yawning, but maybe when I get up I'll be more wide awake. Alrighty, upcoming streams is gonna be, other than maybe a bonus Old Man Video Gaming like I was telling you about, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the Ramsey Show After Show. Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, this show, Tech Support with Coach Steve Money. Curse of Oak Island, No Cap Recaps. The Season 9 is over, but there are companion shows still coming out on Tuesdays, and so I will be doing those as long as they keep coming out. But they may not be done on Wednesday, though. Wednesdays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the scheduled Old Man Video Gaming. But as I said, I do a bunch of bonus ones as well. Alrighty. Make smart, technical, and financial decisions every day.